Welcome in, guys. Let's get it live. This is Four Guys in the Bar. I thank you guys for joining in. That's Nick over there on the side. We got Coach Dre and Andre Tillman waiting on the hand. So while we waiting, check out our new intro.
Let's roll. Yeah, hey, throw that list away. All right.
Why are we around? Welcome
to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From my homes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate truth. This ain't no game, it's our passion on display.
The baby
Chiefs
himself.
Blitz podcast, real fans unite. Every touchdown scored, we ignite the night. From tailgate chatter to post-game debate, we love our Chiefs, yes, never too late.
I would even bring MVS back in the middle of the season.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com. Presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome back to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com, your number one source for your Chiefs offseason and regular season news. And today we have a new columnist, Mr. Hense Todd, has added another piece of arsenal to his repertoire. He wrote a great piece today on Kyle Pitts, so check it out at ChiefsBlitz.com. All right. With that said, nice job, Hense. I didn't have to edit too much. I was very impressed for your first piece. So there you go.
Thank you so much. Let's get right into our sponsor, Underdog, guys.
Play now in Missouri. If you're looking for a great fantasy game, we've teamed up with UnderdogFantasy.com. You can play $5 and get $50. You can use the special promo code Chiefs Blitz. The game is available in 33 states. Check out the availability map. You must be 18, 19, or 21 years older to play, but it's an outstanding game. The app is very simple. You can deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash for new customers, and make sure you use the Chiefs Blitz code, and so you can register to start playing this amazing game. Play Pick'em on Underdog. You can, with all your favorite NBA players, James, Curry, Ball, anybody and everybody who's in the NBA, you can play higher or lower. It is an amazing product. It's very simple to use. If I can do it, anybody can. And just make sure when you log on to UnderdogFantasy.com, make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
All right. That is UnderdogFantasy.com, our new sponsor. You can play now in Missouri. Play $5, get up to $50. Plus, use the promo code Chiefs Blitz. You can play their higher or lower game. It's one of the best. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. And anyway, they got 33 great locations, including live in Kansas and Missouri. And you want to make sure that you take advantage of that. Again, you can play the NBA. You can play NASCAR. You can do college basketball. You can do golf. You can do all sorts of things. We appreciate UnderdogFantasy.com for being our sponsor member. Use the code Chiefs Blitz when you register for the first time. This is not a first timer for our other members of the team, Mr. Lou Montagna and Coach Andre Tillman. How you guys doing?
He's so excited about being a writer now, he forgot how to start the show. Come on, man.
Oh, my bad.
I was like dazed.
We got lip readers out there.
I'm back, guys.
It's definitely Friday. There's no question about it. It's Friday.
My bad. I hit the wrong button. I was like, okay. I said, now Dre mic is still on mute, but I thought it was me. I thought it was
okay.
Me. My bad. But how you guys doing today?
All good on my end. It's been crazy. I shoveled my driveway today finally. So
there you go, Nick, out there. Yeah.
So
hey Nick, listen, I've been dealing with the Kansas Jayhawks, man. They got some studs over there that's coming out in the draft. They got some studs, man.
They got some good football players. They got three wide receivers.
They got some tackles.
They got three wide receivers that didn't even go to the NFL Combine that I think are going to be pretty good in the NFL. So they lost 21 or 24 seniors. So that's a lot.
Well, I seen some talent on that line, though, Nick. I seen some talent on that line now. I said, "Oh man, got my attention." He got
Yeah,
bodied, man.
they've had guys drafted the last several years, prominent draft picks, not just, they're not just like late round picks, the kind of guys that might hang on here and there. So I mean, the program's definitely upgraded the talent level.
Yes,
And Lance Leipold, say what you will about the results, Nick. I know sometimes you get a little upset, but it is.
I'm a realist.
It is a basketball school, so
well, not anymore.
Hey, all right, that's going to be a whole other can. I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
It's all good. Hey, listen,
I didn't want to go there. I did not want to go there.
Hey, shout out to Kobe Bryant though, man. I like Kobe Bryant. He's a steal, man. He's a steal.
Kobe Bryant and Devin Neal in a Chiefs uniform. I don't care what else they draft. I'd be in heaven.
Oh,
they're just really special.
Go again, Nick. Here we go. Another person you love.
I'm going to stand on the desk for both those guys in a Chiefs uniform, so we'll see.
I'm right behind you.
All right, sounds good.
So with that said, let's get into Factor Cap.
Oh my goodness! Here we go, right at the top of the show. Hensley, strike up the band. Here we go.
Never know what direction we're going.
It is a Friday, so you know what that means. It's time for Fact or Cap. All right, I'm going to read a few statements here. You guys can decide, hey, is it a fact or that's cap? Come on, man. What are you talking about? So here we go. Right off the top, we've got the combine coming up, starts next week, right? And you hear terms that have been coined from the combine, and one of my favorites, and I say it every time, and I think it gets Nick the chuckle, but the Underwear Olympics, always a favorite here. Men in tights.
Okay, yeah,
men in tights. How about that? One of the quotes, I can't remember which player said this, but I'm paraphrasing, of course. Last I checked, there's no bench press at the 50-yard line during a football game. So, all right, everybody's got their opinions on what the combine's for, but the statement is this. The NFL now has turned this entire thing into a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
They cover it wall to wall. They make it sound like a game or things are actually going to happen. But so that's the statement. This is nothing but a glorified TV show. Fact or cap? Hensley.
I would say cap, because I think these guys, I think the guys that's coming into the combine, it could be looked at as a TV show, but how they hype it, I see what you're going with it, but I would say cap on it.
Fact. This is Rich Eisen's best work of the year is during the NFL Combine, and he just makes it a show. There he is, number 10 in the hearts of all the Chiefs fans.
And I never knew he wore his hair like that.
Of all, I know. So I think that's a topic today. We'll see.
I'm gonna have to go cap. I think this is the time where guys
come on
and show they stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, not like that. Show they stuff, man. Hold on.
I don't know. We're going on,
man. But I feel like
coach. Yeah, hey, man.
It's a chance to display who you.
One Chiefs player already did at the combine, and he turned out to be very great.
Chris Jones, little wardrobe malfunction on his 40.
Yeah. Go down
and his muscle. I say that he showed his muscle, man. That's what it was, man.
Yeah. Hey now. So, here's the thing. Medicals, interviews. Some of the players get to show their competitive side. You hear that a lot in terms of quarterbacks, whether they decide they're going to throw or not. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, but the bottom line is, and the reason this whole thing was really started years ago was for the medicals, right? Because
that was
you had scouts and so forth, but in terms of NFL doctors getting hands on players and doing x-rays, looking at the MRIs and everything, basically to tell, hey, can we make millions of dollars of an investment here?
Yeah.
The interviews, it's like speed dating. They only get 15 minutes with the guys, but that's a very important part. The rest of it, and you'll hear this as we go through the week when you hear the evaluators, and they'll talk about it and say, well, it's part of the evaluation. you're never going to get a guy and all of a sudden he's going to shoot up the draft board because he did something at the combine. A lot of times it confirms what they already knew, or they go back and watch more tape because ultimately that's what's going to get them drafted. But Nick says, Rich Eisen, you get Daniel Jeremiah, Mike Mayock made a name for himself at the combine. Hell, it got him a job.
Got him a GM job with the Raiders.
It shows up your speed. Like, give me a guard that can run the 4.2. Hell yeah, stop going up. That's the offensive line running the 4.2.
Yeah, okay.
Hell yeah, stop going up.
They run over him like a speed bump, but boy, can he run,
man. But speaking of a 4.2, what's the guy from Kentucky that the guy had on my draft board? I think it's Damian Carter. I think it's Carter, right? Correct. Number from the he's 6'7", 345.
The defensive lineman, Dion.
Yeah, he said
something.
Yeah, he said he's coming out. He said he's gonna come out. He said he's looking to be running in the 4.6s. That's what he said. A big man is 6'7", 345 pounds, running at 4.6.
Right.
Hey,
come on, let's break it down for real.
I think you're making the point that it is a TV show. You're
it is a TV show.
Really get to see something that you typically don't see in real life, and he'll never run another 40 again in his life. So, but
like seeing Worthy run that is cool.
You can't get in for. Don't get me wrong. This is kind of tongue in cheek, of course, but you do get. There is a lot of good information that you get at the combine. And the other thing is, in terms of the TV part of it, forget about that. It's just another way for content creators or I guess journalists and so forth to have everybody, all the guys that make a difference in the NFL in one place. You got every single GM is there. Almost every, the whole staff is probably there. The whole front office staff, all the coaches are there from every single team. So it'd be a great place to just kind of, and the agents, free agency. So
that's the biggest thing now.
Yeah. So Drake, you telling me a guy is 6'7", 345 pounds, come out and run a 4.6? You don't think his stock is gonna rise all the way to the top?
Skyrocketing, baby. Like, you run a 4.6, you a monster truck, man.
Right.
You a monster truck.
It'll move you up. It'll move you up a few spots. Hey, I want to answer the question from Canadian Canuck. Congrats if you are a Canada guy beating USA last night. That was an amazing hockey game. I wonder if agents and free agents go out and try to work backdoor deals to get their guys signed. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they don't. It's all like, well, if my guy was looking for maybe 3, 4, or 5 years and somewhere in the neighborhood between 15 and 25 million, would that be something your team might be interested in? That's kind of what goes on in the background. Sometimes they define it a little bit more as they get ready for the legal tampering period, which will begin 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time on March 10th, which is a Monday.
I mean, you bump into a guy in the hall. He's the assistant GM of a team that you might want to be, have your client play for. There's nothing wrong with having a little conversation, just some hypotheticals, if you would. So that's the best way, is that everybody's in one place, so those conversations can happen at any time, whether it's downtown Indianapolis, in the convention center, the hotel adjacent, the whole thing. So it's a big NFL convention.
It's a lot of fun. If you get a chance as a reporter to go, it's like, man, it is nonstop action behind the scenes. I mean, when I first went, I didn't even look. We didn't even really care about the stuff on the field and the guys running the drills. It was all that other stuff. Every coach was nice. Every coach wanted to be interviewed. Every GM wanted to be interviewed. It was, and the players, it was just, so much fun.
So you mean tell me they did all of this to get an interview and they was all wild because of the coaches and stuff like that, Nick?
Man, I'm telling you, the interactivity. Well, this is again a different time for the media. This is over 12 years ago. Okay. But it was really like,
and it also wasn't televised, Nick. So there was a lot more anonymity to it, right?
I remember when the Cleveland Browns general manager, who somehow knew my name because I worked with Bernie Kosar, And he goes, I want you to talk to Romeo Cornell. He wants to be interviewed by you. And I'm like, I'm an effing nobody at that time. Okay, guys. And Romeo gave me like 25, 30 minutes and ended up doing a piece on him and his career.
It's all it took.
See, Hense,
a lot of fun.
Nick was Forrest Gump before you.
Hell yeah,
so
Nick
there
was
you go.
bow tie for bow tie, bro.
I run like Forrest Gump with him.
That's the moral of that story. All right, so
hey Lou, I don't know if I want to stick with TMZ Todd or Forrest Gump. It's one of the two is golden goose.
Whatever gets you what you need, Hense.
Whatever
that's
gets
the
you
bottom
going.
line right there.
Shut up, Drake.
All right, so there's a handful of teams that even before they made the announcement that the salary cap was going to increase by a significant amount, that had a ton of space. One of those teams is the Washington Commanders. So obviously everybody just really was intrigued by the run that they made with a rookie quarterback getting, to the NFC Championship game with a division rival, which ends up being the Super Bowl champs. Anyway, $75 million. They've got the quarterback. It looks like the organization is going in the right direction. So the statement is this: after free agency and the draft, the Commanders, not the Eagles, will have the most hype going into next season.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Hensley, fact or cap?
I would say fact, because my God, Jalen. You know what I mean? I feel like he's gonna be the next feet on behind Patrick Mahomes. Even though the Eagles fan are thinking, "Hey, Jalen Hurts, he got a ring, yeah, whatever." But this team here, they just missing little key pieces on defense.
What is that? And what is he missing?
They missing some good defensive linemen.
One position. You said defense lineman. Is that what's taking? Yeah. That's what's stopping them from taking it to the next level.
Yeah, they couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop Saquon Barkley at all.
No, who could?
So,
yeah.
If they,
what's that?
The Chiefs did.
Whatever, Nick. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I think he's about to say. But I think, like you said, I think they're just one piece away. I feel like it's on the opposite side of the ball, though. It's one piece away.
Yeah. They'll land the top free. Okay, so my turn. I'm going to say fact. I think they're a couple of players away, but this is the it team. Everybody's going to be talking about him. Can he duplicate what he did his freshman season into his sophomore season? You hear it all the time. Sophomore jinx. A lot of guys in their second year struggle as a starter. And even though he had all the talent in the world, the fact that Cliff Kingsbury decided to stay and turn down the New Orleans Saints job, that tells me a lot. But I think they're going to be the most talked about team in the NFC East. I think it's going to be very difficult for the Eagles to repeat. And I think Washington probably learned a lot from that loss. And I think they're the Houston Texans of 2025. Whether or not they can have better results than the Texans remains to be seen.
Hey, if they get some serviceable talent, it'll be okay with me, man.
Here we go again.
Serviceable talent, man. Hey, I'm with that. But no, I think, like I said, I think that the Commanders are a piece away because McLaurin had a great season. They need that other guy, that one standout guy. To me, they'd be just fine because on their defensive side of the ball, they're okay. They're okay on defense.
What if they stagged Trayvon Diggs and free agent? You know what I mean? They bring in Diggs and McCarlin on the same team.
I don't like Diggs. Diggs too much of a diva. I don't like Diggs.
Nah, I won't put him with that quarterback. Just think about it.
Mess everything up. So yeah, there you have it.
Hola,
we got a new follower.
Edward Laureano.
Welcome,
sir. Welcome. Let's go. All right. So I'm going to say fact. They're definitely going to get more hype just because, again, I mean, the Chiefs obviously started getting a little of this after their first Super Bowl. Nobody wants another repeat. Like all of a sudden now, is Philadelphia going to be the next dynasty because they seem to have everything in place?
I mean,
you don't want to see that. But in terms of Washington, yeah, they get another top-notch target for him. I mean, basically, it was Terry McLaurin and then a bunch of guys. It's kind of like what the Chiefs have kind of gone through is guys that really some no names prior to this year. Just they kind of plug in guys. Diami Brown, who I thought was, really going to take off. He played well at the end of the year, but he's a free agent. I don't know if they bring him back, but if they get him another couple
Higgins, baby,
couple of targets and shore up, as Hense was saying, that O-line, D-line. I mean, I won't say it till we're blue in the face. And it was a kind of a running gag, and I think that was either Sirianni or Sirianni's dad, and it was just O-line, D-line, Howie, just O-line, D-line. So there you go. All right, gang. There's been a lot been made of a certain individual getting his hair cut. Patrick Mahomes, if in case you haven't seen it, you've been sleeping under a rock, or you didn't see the mango drone shot of Patrick's new haircut. Evidently, over 3 million people have just on the Chiefs Blitz post. It's a pretty epic thing. I mean, he talked about it at the end of last year.
He
didn't want to be the dad that shows up at school wearing a mohawk. And there you go. Look at that. Look how clean he looks. My goodness.
Look very clean, man.
I got mine cut the same just the other day.
Oh,
so
it's spread around the kingdom. No, I think
in homage.
You need a little bit more spike at the top.
Yeah, well, he's got a little bit more to work with here,
I
Nick.
think
Come
right
on now.
now with Mahomes with this haircut, gentlemen, we about to see the old Patrick Mahomes, but better. I'm talking about gunslinging Patrick Mahomes. This is a new style, out with the old, in with the new. I feel gunslinging coming on this year. All speed, all go. I feel it. MVP plus 6,000 yards throwing. Right.
I haven't even gotten to the statement. I haven't even gotten to the statement yet. And coach, just keep going, man. Put on your Bengals hat on the Chiefs show and just keep going.
I'm going, man. Even though
Hense,
my God,
mute his mic. Mute his mic.
All right, hold on.
All right. So, like I said, we over 3 million views just on our post. Thank you, Mango. Kay Adams on her show, Up and Adams, used our tweet to put it on her show. So thank you, Kay Adams. For those of you that don't know, she was one of the original hosts on Good Morning Football, and now she has her own show on FanDuel Sports. There you see it right there. And she gives us a little love there at Chiefs Blitz. So thank you very much, Kay Adams. So the statement is this, Coach. You exhausted everything. So, Mike, just keep that mic shut down. This may be the single greatest haircut in Chiefs Blitz history.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't get all say fact.
Hensley.
I would say fact to be proven. It could be the best, or it could have been, hey, keep the mohawk. If you didn't wash the draws, you can keep the mohawk. But I don't know it again. But I'll say yes. I'll say it's going to be.
If you all can see this, but you want to look at mine first, just before you answer. Okay.
I think Mahomes, he feel like he's mature now. That's a mature haircut. I see great things coming this season.
Here he goes again. Is it
fact or cap?
Is it the greatest haircut in Chiefs Blitz history?
We finally got it out of him. It only took 5 minutes. We're good.
This is the single great. This will be the single greatest growth spurt in Chiefs Blitz history. Let's go. Of course it's a fact.
Will that mess up his deal with Head and Shoulders?
Hell no. Come on.
That was the tweet. That's the tweet of the day so far.
It's going to enhance it. He may be going back. What's the activator for Jerry Curl?
I have no idea. I don't have curls.
Jerry Curl the top.
Like Palomalu cutting this here. Man, it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Troy does. I mean, that's his ethnicity. They don't cut their hair, so that's a whole different ballgame. But Troy does have a lovely mane, and they do share that endorsement.
Beautiful.
All right, gang, that's going to do it for Fact or Cap. But that is also
nice job.
brought to you by, of course, our friends at Underdog Fantasy Sports. But that leads us right into one of the main topics of the show, or one of the next topics in the show. What do you got for us, Hense?
What should we read into this Patrick Mahomes' new look? What should we read into it? What should we read into
not
it?
Gonna die. This topic's just not gonna die.
Read into it.
I'm gonna go first. This is what I think. I think it's just a matter of, you know what? He needs to bury the past. He needs to bury the look. He's got young kids now. He's got to go through the drive line at the daycare or at preschool, though that might not be around for another year or two because of their ages. But nonetheless,
those kids start early now, Nick.
Means
preschool at 3 or 4.
This man is all business for 2025.
Somebody said soul glow.
There you go. Good call.
Let your
I'm gonna say.
I may have to give that a shot myself.
You don't need no soul glow, Lou. You don't need no soul glow.
Lou, come on here. It's a soul glow. I'll be dying.
It's whole habit. It's gonna be oily. It's not gonna stick, Lou. It gotta stick now.
It's real. That's the real drip, right? Dripping right off my head.
I'm gonna say this is. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a breakout season for this offense. Not just Patrick Mahomes, but for the offense. That new look, everybody gonna get their haircuts, man. I feel it, man. I feel like this is gonna be the year that, without a shadow of a doubt, he's gonna get MVP and win the big one. I just feel it. I'm excited.
We got to get Mango in here. What event were they at? Because it looks like they all got little roses.
It's a somber one. It was his grandfather's funeral. So
gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's why it kind of went viral the way it did. But yeah, that was
well, it was the first public appearance since he got the hair. But like I said, I mean, he kind of hinted at it at the end of training camp this past year. And you thought it was going to happen, right? And it never did. And it was like, wow. Then all this boom. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a red letter day for our little show.
He said Pat gonna come to camp cussing. That's that cussing Pat. That's that dominant Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's for somebody that is as laser focused that he is. It's hard to imagine that any one little thing is going to make him any more focused, on how he plays or whatever.
After the year he's had, and after all the negativity and all the fire this franchise took, and the fact that he somehow got him to the Super Bowl for 3 years in a row, when he had the whole world, the whole universe against him. At Super Bowl 50, leading up to Super Bowl 59, man, the guy probably just says, "Screw it." It's just time. It's time for me to get rid of this stuff. It's time for me to move past. I'm going to be 30 this year.
Yeah.
His career is about to take a whole new level, and I think everybody predicts that he's going to have a very, very good year, regardless of how they build a team around him.
Yeah, that's why I think, getting beat like that in the Super Bowl, offensive line wasn't holding up. He said, look, he looked in the mirror and said, hey, I got 3 kids now. It's time to cut off the mohawk and start off brand new. And like Charles Ameno, who said on that same show that, hey, the new look being Patrick's going to come out serious. Yep, this is going to be probably the best year y'all probably see of Patrick. And, hey, y'all got to look out for it. That
boogeyman curl is gone now, bro. He cut it off.
Boogeyman look.
Yeah, he's not the Grim Reaper anymore. He's just the Reaper.
It's the sequel now. It's the sequel. But again, now looking into the haircut. What does a player changing his appearance do for him on the field? Like a Jordan, cut his hair. Kobe.
Jordan always was bald, I think, until it's 80 to 80.
Jordan always bald. Jordan went bald because he was stressing
out. 84 to 89. That's when 89 championship Jordan cut his hair. Rest was history.
Right, because it took Jordan 7 years to get a championship right?
Yeah,
High as he go. I don't know how he's go. It took you 7 years to get a ring, but I don't know. But again, it took him 7 years. So he stressed so much the hair got off. So what you think about it? What you think about it, Nick?
Clearly Joe Burrow doesn't care because of the way he dresses off the field. No shirts,
Fashion
no
plates.
backs to his coat.
Fancy Joe.
Fancy Joe.
Listen. No, honestly, I think to some degree, yeah, it could. If you're just looking for a change, to look in the mirror, something to help motivate you. I mean, listen, there's a couple of guys that had dreads and they cut them off this year. I think in Kansas City, it doesn't matter to Andy Reid, any of that stuff. But in some franchises, I mean, look at the New York Yankees. I mean, my goodness. Now they can have groomed facial hair where they couldn't have facial hair since George Steinbrenner was running the show.
What you mean? They can have facial hair in baseball?
No. With New York Yankees.
No. Just the Yankees.
Just
Yankees in their contracts for their players indicate that they cannot have facial hair. And this year they've decided to allow groomed facial hair. That will be inspected by the GM like he's got nothing else to do. It's all pretty silly, but again, I don't think.
I mean, just not to get off on a tangent, but baseball's got like one of the strongest unions in sports, if not the strongest union.
Oh, there's no question.
How in the hell do they let the Yankees get away with that?
Because they pay more than anybody else. They don't care.
I can't have a beard. I gotta have my face. Damn the Yankees. Damn them. Nope. Hell no. I ain't going to no damn Yankees.
That's like being a police officer or something like that. You can't have no facial hair.
Military, you gotta cut your facial hair off, Bo. You gotta cut it off, man. Gotta cut it off.
But
the old saying, and I think it was Dion, of course, because they're all Dion. Look good, feel good, play good.
Play good. That's right.
I don't know how much it really, affects the player. Maybe psychologically or mentally, it helps them a bit. Mm-hmm. But because certain players, you look at their uniforms, everything is on point. I mean, the socks are just everything is just right. The swag, if you would, with the extra mouthpieces, whether it's in the helmet or hanging from the chin strap, never goes in their mouth, but they've got a couple of chin straps hanging from the thing, and then just basically how the uniform looks on them.
Only one.
And I think it depends. It depends on the guy. Some guys that just helps them.
It does.
One guy, he didn't matter what how his uniform looked. He just didn't want you.
There's a bunch of offensive linemen. I don't know them any offensive linemen that give a crap what they look like.
Right. He didn't want you talking. He didn't want you talking stuff about quality H2O, and that was Bobby Boucher. Bobby Boucher didn't care.
I like Bobby Boucher. He was a good guy. Nobody talking about.
He didn't care.
He was probably.
Did you see him sing? Did you see Bobby Boucher singing on the SNL 50 anniversary?
I seen that.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. He was good.
Hey, never give up on your dreams. That's Bobby Boucher. Never give up on your dreams.
That's right.
Never give up on your dreams.
The best linebacker in the NFL, man. Shout out to Bobby Boucher, man.
But which one was better, Bobby Boucher or Waterboy? Which one was better? Which one if you had to draft
Waterboy? To me, Waterboy was.
Waterboy had a problem. I love it.
He had a problem. But again,
I can't wait for the Happy Gilmore too. I can't. I'm just
shout out to Adam Sandler, man. Adam Sandler.
I think he was on with the Kelseys this week, wasn't he?
Yep.
He was on a few months ago. They did a rebroadcast because the guys were taking a break. Travis and Taylor are overseas somewhere enjoying each other's company. Jason's taking a little time off with his family. I don't think they'll resume probably until sometime in March. Probably close to when Travis ultimately makes the decision to stay or go. But if you haven't seen that interview, it's worth every single second of it. And the idea of Travis being part of the movie came from that interview. And
while we're shouting their show out, check out the one with Will Ferrell too.
Will Ferrell! Incredible. Man. I love Will Ferrell.
I'm not a huge Will Ferrell guy. I had this conversation with Emily the other night.
Oh God!
Let me ask you this, Nick. You got
I'm not a huge Will Ferrell guy.
Jim Carrey or Will Ferrell?
Jim Carrey.
I think Jim had a different kind of humor.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean,
Jim is more of my era growing up kind of humor, where Will Ferrell. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I really don't. I wish I could put my. I mean, he's made some great movies.
Before we get off board, let's get in. What does the Chiefs future hold for the Chiefs in 2025? Because some people are asking questions in the chat. Before we answer that question, go ahead and answer this question by King Mo. Nick.
Would you take a chance on Josh Simmons if he falls to 31?
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
listen. I think this is going to be a very strange draft. I think there's going to be several runs at several positions, and I think there's going to be some stupidity because a couple of teams are going to fall in love with some of these quarterbacks.
Why you say stupidity?
And it's stupidity. And to me, there's no first-round quarterback in this draft. That's just my opinion for what it's worth.
It ain't.
There
But
may
2
not
or 3
be, but we've seen it before. Whoever the deemed top 2 or 3, regardless of what their rating
in the
is,
first round,
or where they are, like even in the top 100, they get pushed up. I mean, that's just.
I think Josh Simmons absolutely would be great. There could be a lot of guys that fall into the Chiefs' lap at number 31. Because again, I think this is going to be one of the most difficult drafts I think to predict. Because I think the talent level is solid, but there aren't that many. Oh my God, I got to have this guy or else. What kind of player?
Yeah, I agree.
They're all good athletes.
A lot
In
of
the first
serviceable
3 or 4
guys.
rounds, this draft is going to create a lot of NFL players. Once you get past that, I think it's going to be pretty watered down. But listen, whoever falls to the Chiefs, if somebody that they think's a 15, 16, 17, 18 pick, you know what they're going to do? They're going to move up and they'll trade with they can't go much spot with the Bills because I think they're only 1 ahead of them.
Yes,
but
Ruben.
they're going to be in a position to where they're going to this is going to be a crazy draft for the Chiefs. I think so. I think they have no idea right now what direction they're going to go. I'm sure they've got their draft board. A lot of it's going to depend on free agencies. A lot of it's going to depend on if Trey Smith resigns, and I've been told there's a possibility now versus where there may not have been a couple of weeks ago. So we'll see how that shakes out at the NFL Combine when the agent and the Beats sit down for a one-on-one. But the future of the Chiefs is bright. Let's be honest. We have been to 6 Super Bowls in the last 7 years or 5 whatever it is. They're 3-2. The Chiefs have 4 championships altogether going back to the 69 team. They have a Hall of Fame head coach. They've got a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator. They got a Hall of Fame quarterback, tight end, defensive player in Chris Jones, Joe Thuney on the offensive line, probably Creed Humphreys when it's all said and done, probably Trey Smith if he stays. McDuffie could be a guy like that. They have all the parts and the pieces in play, and I think the Chiefs' future is going to be really good. And I think for 2025, I don't think they're going to have the pressure of the three-peat. They're not going to have the noise of the NFL. People are going to be moved on to the Eagles now. They're the new it team. The Bills are always going to get their run. The Chargers will get some run, and the Bengals will get some run, and the Cowboys will get some run, and the Commanders will get some run. So I think the focus is going to be off the Chiefs. And I think if you go back to Patrick Mahomes' MVP year, the first year, the pressure was off the Chiefs. They didn't really have any pressure.
Exactly.
They just went out there with a new quarterback, and they just played football. Exactly. And I think that's what you're going to see in 2025. I think you're going to see this team just go back to playing football.
No pressure. It's a scary team. Chiefs are scary when there's no pressure on them.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, if you listen to the coaches, that there's always pressure whenever Patrick's the quarterback. The biggest thing that they don't want to do, and I think what really impacts some of the coaching is that, as you'll see it in the chat at least once every week, where we don't want to waste Patrick's years, which I still don't agree with the wasting and all that. That's just nonsense. But in terms of Josh Simmons, first off, I'm going to say that's going to come down to the medical. We talked about that as far as the combine is concerned. That'll be a big portion of his evaluation. So, but if the medical clears, he's probably going to go much higher. Do the Chiefs really like him? Then I think Nick's idea was probably correct, that if he does fall into the high teens, early 20s, Veach will do his best to move up to whoever they like. Not necessarily Josh Simmons, but if Josh Simmons is that guy, he'll make the move up. In terms of the future of the Chiefs, I think that the biggest thing right now is, what happens with the current free agents that they want to bring back. What happens, do they have, enough ammo to really address the offensive line in this short window, this short period? The third thing is going to be that in the past, the draft picks were kind of a luxury. They weren't really counted on to do a ton. As these guys start to fall off, meaning some of these free agents that go away, now all of a sudden these guys are going to be counted on as starters, and not just starters, but playing a lot of snaps on top of everything else. Can they step up? If they do, then the Chiefs will be the Chiefs that we've known the last 7 years. If they don't, and I'm talking like 4 or 5 guys on the defense have to step up.
And who is
offensively?
Give me 2.
What's that?
Give me 2.
It depends on who they lose. Whoever, if Justin Reed goes, Jaden Hicks has got to be nearly an all.
Oh, he's stepping up.
Because Justin Reed, the one thing you talk about the importance of Nick Bolton and the green dot and just the whole communication thing. Justin Reed is just important.
He was
being that back end communicator. Say what you will about his coverage skills and everything else. The guy's a straight baller, and I would love to have him back. Good point. Whoever takes his spot, if Bolton goes, then is it Leo? Is it Drew? Probably Drew. We know what he is. I mean,
probably Drew. It would be Drew.
We don't quite know how good Leo can be on a consistent basis for the long term, because it just seems like he's always a situational guy. Yeah. He's not on the field a lot because they're normally in 2 linebackers, 5 DBs, and 4 down. So occasionally he gets like moved around like a chess piece. So definitely is one.
Bring back Willie Gay.
If Joshua Williams comes back, if he's part of the picture, he has got to show that he can be a full-time player and is part of the future. Otherwise, this will be his last year. So there's several guys, and then offensively, it's the same story. And we'll see who they bring in terms of the receivers, but offensive line for sure. So those are the big 3 things for me. But ultimately, the guys that they.
Then we lost Luke.
Okay. Hey, I never thought we would add Joshua Williams though. He went at Joshua Williams. Said this may be his last year.
Everybody that's on their 4th. Yeah, it's his 4th year, so this is it. I mean, if he doesn't,
should guard AJ Brown. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I feel you.
I'm not going backwards. Stop it. All right.
Well, speaking of it,
AJ Brown.
Go backwards here.
AJ Brown had 43 yards.
Yeah, I'll put it like this. Yeah. If
the problem.
What do done 25, future holds for them, it's going to be the unknown at left tackle, right? It's going to be the unknown. Is it going to be somebody that's going to be out there that's going to be, a veteran? Could it be, a guy that they drafted? It's going to be the unknown of this offensive line. And then they got the brutal schedule that's coming with it as well. So, the future holds for them. It could be. I think it's going to be bright. I think because they still got Pat. It seems like Travis Kelce's going to come back for another year. They still going to have the key guys on defense, but the future, is going to hold at that left tackle. What you going to do there?
Hey,
why is it brutal? Why is the schedule brutal?
It is a brutal schedule. They got to play the Eagles. They got to play the Ravens. They got to play
the Kansas City Chiefs. Ain't no schedule brutal for the Chiefs.
It's a tough schedule.
It's every year. You win your division, the schedule is going to be difficult the next year, regardless. So
it's going to be tough. It's much tougher than the Bills have. I'll tell you that.
The Bengals and Cardinals will never know anything about that. Tough schedule.
It's more difficult than those teams because the Chiefs have the NFC East this year. So they've got the Commanders, they've got the Eagles, they got the Cowboys, they got the Giants. So
plus the Lions. Ruben asked a question about that
bonus game.
Okay.
Ruben asked a question about DJ Humphries. I'd say it's 50-50 at this point. he could come back as a technically a
serviceable
backup.
guy. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of concern about Jawan Taylor and his knee injury or his knee issues last season. So it wouldn't surprise me if Humphries is willing to play ball, that he signs a 1-year deal, and maybe he could be the future right tackle. Or if Jawan Taylor, knee continues to worsen, that would be a good solution for Kansas City, I think, versus, over kind of what they have now. That they've got Broderick, who they're really high on, but he's still so raw. And then it's just a matter of being coached up at that point. But I would not rule out the Chiefs Humphries back as a insurance policy for that offensive line.
Bring in Humphries, huh? Lou, what's up? What's your take on Humphries, Lou?
Do not sell Kingsley short at this point. I mean, they took him in the second round. He has to play. Going back to what I had said,
he's not going to play tackle.
Lou,
They've already made the transition to guard.
Touch somebody, Lou.
The business. Here's the way the business works. And like I said, those guys in the past have been a luxury because they could be backups. That's gone. These guys have to play, and whether it's at guard, at right tackle, whatever, he's got to play. If he's healthy, he has to play. I mean,
but we look
at
it.
That still falls on the coaching staff, and I don't see any.
Yeah, he's got. It falls on everybody. It's not just the kid. The kid. They evaluated him. If they trusted their evaluation,
right?
They got what they got, and now it's up to them to get him.
He was
ready
the
to
first
rock and
round
roll.
pick grade, and he lasted.
Well, I don't know about that. That was a lot. That was a lot of horseshit talk at the end, right before the draft, where just names started popping off just because. Well, Andy went to BYU, so of course, let's take him in the first round. Come on.
Well, of course, it had a lot to do with it.
Speaking of offensive line coach Brett Veach and all these guys, can we say losing this year's Super Bowl was a good thing for the Chiefs? Because now they got to really, really focus in on it. You know, what you got to say?
It was a kick in the ass.
Go ahead, Nick.
It was a kick in the ass.
Well, of course it was. Of course it was a kick. It was a kick in the ass. But at the end of the day,
did everybody change their name to Lou?
Yeah, I don't know. Lou,
did you say Lou? I'm sorry. I don't want to upstage the other senior member. Go ahead, Lou.
No, that's cool. Well, no, I mean, it wasn't. I'm not going to say it was a good thing. All right. But in the aftermath, this could be a silver lining because the things that were lacking have been further exposed. Not that they didn't know they were there, but now there's more urgency to address them.
Yeah.
Right. It was just plain as day. They had to sit in the box, Brett Veach, the owner, and watch that game as their all-world quarterback had no time to throw the ball. And I'm sure the owner's looking at him a little side-eyed, like, wow, what's happening out there, Brett? And Brett's like, what the, just under his breath. So, yeah, I wouldn't say good, but,
I thought you fixed that offensive line, Brett.
Exactly. We spent $28 million on this right tackle. We spent this and this and this. And that.
I like that, Nick. That was funny.
But the bottom line, silver lining, yes. Was it good? I'm not going to say it was good, but, silver lining
Ruben said it was a wake-up call. It was a wake-up call.
You said wake-up call, Ruben. I've been telling that half the season.
Everybody, the players know. The players know. They knew going into that game it was going to be an uphill battle, right? Not that they knew they were going to lose, because every game was close this year, and they found a way. Patrick found a way. No matter what the deal was, he found a way to get it done, and it just wasn't happening. So, again, they knew these issues existed. This just shined a huge spotlight on them, because it took the Eagles and that down 4 to really expose it, because leading up to that point, there was no other team outside of maybe Houston in the playoffs that really made them look kind of meh on the offensive line.
A lot of meh.
I think to me it was good for the Chiefs because both sides got exposed. It was in the trenches. They couldn't protect Mahomes, and the Eagles got after him. They got after him and they protected Hurts. It was like both lines for the Chiefs was horrible. It was bad, and they got exposed. So right.
Well, I don't think the Chiefs. I disagree. I don't think the Chiefs defensive line was bad. I mean, they did a great job.
They stopped
Considering
Saquon.
they
They did.
stopped
They stopped
Barkley,
Saquon,
yeah.
but Hurts
They
could
just
sit
couldn't
back
stop
there.
Hurts from
He
running.
was making
Yeah.
extra reads. He was talking to the head coach
Listen,
in his helmet. He was thinking about orders.
they
He was
didn't
about
think that Hurts
DoorDash.
could beat
That
him,
man
and that
had
was their
all
mistake.
the time in the world. But I'm saying
They
is
didn't
this.
Well,
think
not a
Hurts
mistake.
could beat
Well,
them.
wouldn't say it was a mistake, Nick. I think that was they did not want to let Saquon beat them. And they said, okay, fine. If this guy can beat us, we'll take it. If he can do it, if he can out-duel Patrick, but Patrick never had a chance in the duel,
No,
right?
Patrick never had a chance.
Patrick's gun had 1 bullet, and it hurts at about 50. So he
Yeah.
had no
No.
shot.
Said George had a sack.
Listen, I think this was a good thing for the franchise because every time they've had a blowout loss, they've responded.
Joe Burrow would have played.
When they lost to the Patriots in the
Hold on,
title
Nick.
game.
He said Joe Burrow will play better.
Joe Burrow would have played better.
No.
Did they make the playoffs, sir?
No.
Oh. All right, from the
Go ahead.
babes of the Bengals fan, I tell you, I don't even know what my thought was anymore. Yes, I think this is a good thing.
Whatever.
They've learned their lesson from every major loss. When they lost to the Patriots, they came back and they won the Super Bowl. When they lost to the Bengals, and give the Bengals credit for beating them, then they came back and they retooled the offensive line. Now they've got to kind of do the same thing over again and make some choices. And they've shown that after a bitter loss in the postseason. And remember, Patrick Mahomes has lost 3 out of 20.
Go ahead.
Sorry, he's 17 or 18-4. I mean, there's
This
no
is
other
why I
quarterback
use
outside
the
of Brady.
cord.
I'll
The
get it
wireless,
fixed next
the
week.
wireless, the wireless,
old fashioned.
the wireless buds don't like
Old-fashioned.
streaming, Nick. Come on.
Old
I'll put
fashioned.
it. I think this is a very good thing for the Chiefs. They will respond. They know how to respond. They will come back. And each year after a bad loss, they've been able to do one thing. They've revamped the roster, and they've been ultra competitive. So I expect the same thing. Could there be a big surprise trade? It's possible with Brett Veach right now.
Yeah.
Before we go on to the next question, go ahead and read that one. Nick.
Ikoe says, do you guys think if this defeat occurred before the Super Bowl, it would have been fixed?
What do you
I'm
mean?
not sure what you mean 100%, but
what
if the offensive line, I guess if the offensive line had been fixed prior to the start of the season, or the middle of the season, I do think the outcome would have been different. I think it would have been a lot more competitive. I think the fatal flaw of the offense was the offensive line, but it was also, Patrick Mahomes was just on constant fire and he could just never get comfortable.
Well,
when a quarterback's uncomfortable,
they'd be in the same boat they are right now, regardless of when the loss, happened. Right? I mean,
I don't think anybody was beating the Eagles on
it may just have been worse because it might have been to a lesser team.
Yeah. No, that's the best team in football.
Where I think clearly outside of quarterback, Eagles had the best roster.
Yeah, and the best roster won, and and the better coaching
doesn't always.
It doesn't always. It very rarely. The Chiefs won 2 Super Bowls against teams that had better.
Yeah,
rosters.
you could make a case they have not had the better roster in any of the Super Bowls.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna answer this
I
question.
agree.
Yes, a team could beat the Eagles, and that was them Bengals. We had Chase, T. Higgins, and the most phenomenal quarterback in the world.
Come on, Henry. We have an audience to think of, man.
No.
All right, Ruben's asking, will Andy let Pat gunsling this year? Ruben, I think you got to remember that Pat has the ball in his hands. He's making the decision. Andy's not in his ear telling him to dink and dunk. All those plays are called to make big plays. And if he has time to throw it, He typically does. Sometimes he
Yeah.
won't. He just has
Yeah.
kind of adjusted the way he plays because of the way the team is constructed. So I don't know. It's a matter of Andy letting him do anything. They're going to still call shots. They're always
He's
going to
got a
call
new
shots.
dude. He's going to throw the ball. He's going to throw the
So-
rock all over the place.
So I don't think it's going to make a difference. He just has to decide in his mind how much, how often he wants to put the ball in harm's way.
I say this. I think losing the Super Bowl, well, it could be both. It could be good, going to be help them build something better for the era, or I feel like this could be a learning curve for the GM. We thought we fixed the offensive line before. Now we go back out there. We had the same problem on the biggest stage, again. And having your superstar, superstar of the league, get manhandled like that in front of the world.
Beat.
But again, I believe in Brett Veach. I believe this was a good loss for the Chiefs. A wake up call, like Ruben said. I feel like this is gonna be a wake up call for the NFL because the boogeyman had chopped off the cut. He is coming back for everybody else. It's just gonna be the sequel. It's gonna be the sequel. If you watch Michael Myers with LA Cool J and them was in there, Busta Rhymes and that Michael Myers, they cut off his head. You know what I mean? And they thought Michael Myers was done. But the boogeyman could continue to come back, like Freddy Krueger said. They tried burning him. They tried crucifying him. They tried throwing water at him. But Mahomes is still going to come back in the end. He cut the new look. So I feel like this was a new good loss for this man. And I feel like it's going to wake him up in the end, sir. You can point at the Bengals' head. That's toilet tissue.
My bad. I apologize. I thought I'm a Bengals guy. Look, honestly, guys, for real, I believe in Patrick Mahomes. I really do believe in Patrick Mahomes. I don't believe in Nagy. I believe in Mahomes. I don't believe in Nagy. Now, if Nagy would take the training wheels off,
I don't think Nagy. I think
and let that man eat. Man, we all know and love the Patrick Mahomes before Nagy. That's what we fell in love with. We didn't fall in love with this
right,
dick.
I'm gonna counter that. I'm gonna counter that.
Come on with it.
Go ahead.
Before he became offensive coordinator, he spent a year working with Patrick Mahomes again.
Right.
He also spent his rookie season working with Patrick Mahomes. And I think that one-on-one time and the results were very good. They made the playoffs, got the AFC Championship game that year. Second time he came back before he became OC, they won a Super Bowl. So I think that
You're great.
really strong. The relationship is really strong. I don't think he has as much input in the offense, obviously, because of Andy Reid. That's why Eric Bieniemy never got an OC job and never will get an OC job that is going to have any substance to it. And so Nagy is a right-hand guy. I don't think he's a yes man. I know too many people that know Nagy, and he's anything but that. If he doesn't like something, he'll say it. Doesn't mean Andy's always going to do it, but it isn't, no, you do this. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's just do that. Listen, they had to overcome all these injuries. They had to overcome all the expectations. They still somehow won 15 games, and Nagy deserves some credit for that. And they got to the Super Bowl for the third straight years. He should get some credit for that. But he's not the problem. He's not the reason the offense failed. The reason the offense failed, we saw it. Their offensive line collapsed under the pressure. They couldn't handle it. That's it. That's the only reason. That's not Andy's. That's not his fault.
Yeah. Go ahead and wipe his butt a little bit. Pat his behind. It's okay. Nagy. Whatever. All right. Get that man.
I tell you what, you tell me what comes out of those meeting rooms and everything else.
I will,
and then come and tell us what coach is not doing this or not doing that.
Yeah.
So
man.
it's a great narrative to jump on and just say words just to incite, I don't know, the guys in the chat. But Matt Nagy's not the issue.
Lou,
Pat
ultimately love Nagy. That's what it
doesn't matter.
Nagy.
It could be Mike Kafka. I'm good with either of them. It could be Doug Peterson. It could be any number of those guys. I'm fine with any of them. But the bottom line is, and the point is, that Patrick, number 15, is on the field with the ball in his hands. He says where the ball's going, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I don't understand how people are getting. Well, it's this coach, that coach. It's Coach
is.
Reed.
But Nick said it on the point, man. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you can have you can have me out there, offensive coordinator. You can have Dre, Lou, anybody. You can have anybody. But when it's all said and done, the eyes going to go. The NFL eyes going to look at Andy Reid. It's the play calling is coming from Andy Reid. So if I try to go get a job, or I try to go get this, it's going to look like it's coming from Andy Reid, and that's why everybody says this person, that person, but you can run any play. You can call the dog to be open. If you ain't got no porch or no offensive line is going to hold up, you can call any play. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
They teach you in Pee Wee football all the way to high school, all the way to Madden.
Are you agreeing with Nick and saying that you like Nagy too?
No, I'm just saying I can't see what Nagy has unless we have the offensive line, sir. So that's why they call you the man of many hats. We don't know what you're gonna have, sir. We don't know what hat you're gonna put on today. Is it gonna be the bank? The
hat, man.
You never know. But all I'm saying is this. Everybody can agree with me. We missed the old Patrick Mahomes. That's what the fan. That's what the people want.
That's what I said. I get what you're saying. You want to.
Sir, don't you don't give it up.
Your argument then is with Patrick. Then ultimately he's the one on the field that isn't doing exactly whatever you want him to do.
No, my argument is with Nagy.
And what is that exactly?
Okay, my argument with Nagy. The play calling sucked going against the Eagles.
Okay, he's not calling the plays, dude.
Not recalling the plays, man.
He's not calling the plays.
Who called the plays?
Okay, from a former coach. Basically, the process is this: Andy's got the sheet. Each play has a code word. Andy says the code word to like corn dog, right? Yeah. They don't call corn dog in the huddle. He'll say it to Nagy. Nagy relays in every single piece of that West Coast play that's like 2 sentences long.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does he come up with a game plan? Does he come up with a game plan? Does he help with all that stuff?
Who calling them plays in? Who calling the plays at the line? Is it Mahomes, Nagy, or is it Reed? Who is it?
Well, I'm pretty sure Patrick has the authority to check to different things based on what he sees on the defense. Ultimately, regardless of who they are, it's in Patrick's hands. So if you have a quarrel with the old Patrick, new Patrick, whatever, it's with Patrick. It's not with the coaches. They're calling shots. The offense is the offense. He has to decide where the ball goes.
I say the
whole
offense.
At a certain point, he decided that I don't want to put the defense in a bind. I think our defense can help us win this game. I'm not going to go bombs away like every third play because I don't have to.
Scoring touchdowns though. We throwing bombs away. Worthy, they was producing.
Well, the point we want to get into a conversation about complimentary football. We can do that too, but
it was some serviceable play calling.
Tuesdays, Lou and Dre goes at it. Tuesday shows. Who ready for that? Tuesday Lou versus
you taking Nagy.
I don't know. I'm just the producer, man. I take everybody.
We're doing a Tuesday show now. I'm confused.
I just mess with these two. But again, I agree with Lou and I agree with Dre.
2 for Tuesday.
I agree with both. This is why I agree with Lou because Lou. No, this is why I agree with Lou. Lou is telling the truth. It comes down to what Patrick Mahomes is going to do with the ball. You can call the play. A lot of people been saying that Patrick Mahomes forced the ball to Travis Kelce. A lot of people be open. The play is there. The play is there to be made. And also, you went on record saying that too. I guess and also I agree with Coach Dre about the play calling was but it wasn't good in the Super Bowl. So the point is the finger's going to point back to Nagy. So go ahead and read some of his comments. Because it's Friday, guys. Go ahead and read.
Canadian Cuck made a good comment. Patrick had to change how he played. Manages much better, doesn't want to give up any interceptions. The roster made him have to adapt, which is true. And Demetrio, the missing ingredient is running back. We need a guy like Jet.
Yep.
They will have their running back this year. I agree. Lou versus Dre.
We'll see.
Reviewed $99.
Resell.
By Resell Electronics. All right, Ruben, go into Resell today and get your.
Let's go, Ruben.
Let's
You can be the promoter.
Let's go right into Resell, guys.
You can be
let's
done.
talk
We're
about it.
talking about our new sponsor, Resell Electronics. They buy and sell all of your consumer electronics. For more information, we're going to roll tape. Run it.
Save big on the hottest electronics. At Resell Electronics, we offer the best deals on new and pre-owned TVs, game consoles, cameras, plus so much more. With 2 convenient locations along Noland Road in Independence. Stop by and visit us today.
That's right.
Resell Electronics, 2 great locations, Noland Road and 40 Highway in Independence. If you're looking to buy or sell any of your personal consumer electronics, they are your one-stop shop. You walk in, you tell them the guys at Chiefs Blitz and Bowtie Sports sent you, and they'll give you a 10% discount. Check out their website at resellwithacelectronics.com.
Resell.
Resell indeed. I want to thank Resell Electronics and of course Underdog Fantasy for being the sponsors of our show. We appreciate it as well. Please like our social media. Please subscribe to the Chiefs Blitz YouTube channel. We definitely would love to see more of you subscribe. That would be great for us as we grow this site and we begin in 3 weeks. Number 3, technically, of the 4 Guys in a Bar podcast. Will be the 3rd league year in
Where's
which we
the
have
time
done.
gone, Nick?
Where's the time gone? And look where we're at. I haven't lost all my hair. The Chiefs have won 2 Super Bowls in that time frame. We've had a great time producing the show. So please follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Chiefs Blitz, everywhere. We really appreciate that. And of course, check out the content at chiefsblitz.com that has a new featured writer, Mr. Hense Todd.
Look at that.
Go check out.
Job.
Let's go. Maybe we get Brett Veach to read that article, huh? Hense? Let's go, man.
But all I'm asking for, man, is just go out there and get the guy, man. Hey, I know a lot of people are tired of seeing it. Bring him in. I said it so
I'm surprised you didn't put the post up of the story, man. I'm telling you, what's up?
I forgot, man. But again, man, thank you guys for joining in, man. It was a great show. We can't do this without you guys. Shout out to Mango for everything he's doing behind the scenes. A shout out to the team, man, because everybody that's a part of the team. A shout out to some of the guys that I came across, on social media, and they've been sharing some of our stuff on their platforms as well. So shout out to you guys as well. So with that said, guys, enjoy your weekend. Don't forget about Bowtie Sports on Saturday at 6:00. Me and Coach will go back and forth. We might have a featured guest. We may have Lou. We may have Nick. We may have Mango. We don't know. So with that said, guys, we'll see you guys.
We might have Joe Burrow on there.
Yes.
I'm doing my due diligence.
He's not.